Is Mega Dream EX a failed high class set? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Welcome to something that sounds quite dramatic. I don't think it is that dramatic, but it's something I noticed, something I wanted to share, talk about, and hear your thoughts. Today is Saturday, the day after release. So far, I've opened just over 3 boxes worth of packs, 1 full box, and then the rest loose packs from convenience stores with 5-pack per person limits, 2-pack per person limits, stuff like that. So just over 3 boxes. So I have a good amount open now, and I might open some more in the future. If I can find some more packs at retail and convenience stores and supermarkets and stuff like that. I pulled the gold Dragonite, crazy, like that was pretty nuts. My other pulls weren't quite as great, but I can't complain, obviously. Let's get the obvious out of the way, okay? I think this is a really good set. There is tons of good artwork, lots of good ARs, lots of good SARs. I love the Mega Attack rares. There isn't a single one of those that I do not like. I want to put all of them in a binder. I'm sure that's going to look sick. I love those. And this set has great variety. There's trainers Pokemon, Rockets Pokemon, there's cute cards, badass looking cards. It's got a bit of everything for everyone, and I really like that. You know, popular Pokemon, good artwork, etc. I think it's a very good set, but I think it's a bit of a failed high class set. And let me explain what I mean with that. So to me, a high class set has to do something that regular sets don't do. They have had in the past few years always something that's so unique to high class set. This big end of the year, amazing fun set that differentiates itself drastically from regular sets. For example, V-Star Universe Terrestrial Festival. You get that guaranteed SAR per box. Now, they're not that crazy hard to pull because you get one in every box, but you still get that special art rare type of card once per box. You don't get this in regular sets. And even some of the less popular stuff like the baby shinies in Shiny Treasure EX, Shiny Star V, GX Ultra Shiny. Love them or hate them, I'm sort of indifferent. I think there's a handful of really cool ones. But baby shinies are a high class set thing. You don't get baby shinies in normal sets. At least I can't recall that having been a thing in the past. If you look at VMAX Climax, for example, character rares were a new thing because they had been in Dream League at the tail end of Sun and Moon. But then we had no character rares for the first half of Sword and Shield, and then VMAX Climax comes around the corner and it's just packed full of character rares and character secret rares, and it's just like, oh my god, that's crazy. Mega Dream EX isn't doing anything like that, in my opinion. When I opened this box, I felt like I was opening a regular set. And I think that's a bit of a fail for a high class set. So what did I pull from this box? Well, I pulled the Gengar Mega Attack Rare, I pulled the NSPP Up Full Art, and I pulled a few good ARs that I like the look of. This is the same pull rate you get from sets like Inferno X, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia. You get 3 ARs, 2 full arts, one of which is a tool or item card. Now the Mega Attack rares, people might say, well, they're unique to this set. They're unique to this high class set. And that's true, obviously. But that isn't enough to really differentiate this set from the other sets as being, this is the high class set. Because you get 1 Mega Attack rare in every box. There's only 10 of those. And so to me, they just feel like regular full arts. You could replace this Gengar with a Mega Charizard EX from Inferno X. And it does the same thing to me from an opening experience perspective. Right? Ignore Pokemon popularity, ignore art, ignore value for a second, and just think of this as these Mega Attack rares as regular full arts. Then the opening experience you get with this set is the same as a regular set. Now, of course, you get an EX in every pack. Right? You get 10 cards, there's 2 holos, or 1 holo and then 2 reverse holos, or 2 others, I forget. You get a ton of stuff, obviously. Like, that's still a high-class pack thing, especially that EX in every pack. But once you've pulled those few EXs you actually want, that novelty of having an EX in every pack wears off really quick, and the things that people actually chase are the art rares and then the full arts. Whether that's a Mega Attack rare, the SARs, or a gold card maybe. But and so you know, this EX in every pack and more holos, reverse holos, that stuff, that doesn't really do it for me anymore. This is a bit of this kind of art power creep we've experienced over the last few years, where stuff that used to be maybe really cool and unique and made you say, wow, an EX in every pack, that's amazing. You know, with Tag All-Stars, you get a GX in every pack, incredible. It's just not that exciting anymore these days. And most collectors really only care about, maybe I shouldn't say most, but because I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of collectors really only care about the art rares and then the full arts. And you know, the tool and item full arts, they're primarily interesting to players. I actually quite like them. I play the TCG with my friends sometimes very casually, but we like to stick those in our decks and it's a good time. But for collectors, those are not very interesting, obviously, except for people who master set. And you know, if you look at these mega attack rares, which again, I love them, but if you look at these as regular full arts, then it's the same opening experience as, for example, Inferno X. And if you ignore, you know, the tool and item full arts, then it's the same opening experience as any other Scarlet and Violet set, where you get 3 ARs and the full art. And yeah, you might pull the SAR, you might get lucky and pull an SAR, of course. Like I got lucky and pulled the Gold Dragon Knight, but your average booster box experience is going to be 3 ARs and 2 full arts, one of which is the tool or item full art. And you get this in regular sets. Now people might say, what about the reverse holos? There's tons of different reverse holo patterns. Each Pokemon comes with 2 different reverse holo patterns, and kind of the energy typing reverse holo, and then one of many different Pokeballs or the rocket stamp. And that's neat. That's interesting. To me, it feels like it's almost a bit too much. It's a bit of a mess, but it's interesting. It's neat. But you know, 2 different reverse holo patterns isn't anything new either. We've had that in Terrestrial with the Pokeball and Master Balls, and in that set they were textured. 151, Black Bolt, White Flare, you get Pokeballs and Master Balls. This isn't this 2 different type of reverse holo patterns isn't anything new, and them now having, you know, a variety of different Pokeballs, it's just not that exciting. It's just sort of in terms of what you're left with at the end of the opening experience, and what you feel like when you open it, or what I felt like when I opened it, and what I was left with after I had opened the box. I was just like, oh, yeah, it just could have just been any regular mainline set. There's more SARs to, like a bigger pool of SARs to pull from if you get lucky. There's more ARs to pull from, obviously. But what you're left with in the average box, it doesn't feel high class set-y, if that makes sense. Here's what I would have done to change this. And this is what I was expecting this set would be like when I saw the first leaks. I assumed that we'd get, once again, an SAR in every box, and then the mega attack rares, those would be the bigger chase, right? The rarity above the SARs. That's what I would do to change this set. If you ask me, what would you like to change? Well, yeah, I would like to make the mega attack rares a rarity tier above the SAR. Put an SAR in every box. Maybe you'd have to increase the number of SARs, because right now there's a lot, but there wouldn't be enough if one was in every box. So you up that number a little bit, and then you have those 10 mega attack rares as the bigger chase. It would also be a nice homage to the OG, you know, megas with the attack text written on them from X and Y. And some people might say, well, the mega attack rares, they're a bit, you know, a bit divisive. Not everyone likes them. Some people might say, well, they're not cool enough to be a higher rarity than the SAR. But to that I say, are the gold cards cool enough to be a higher rarity than the SARs? Not really, right? But they are. And I think that would not only make this set better, not that it really needs it, again, it's a good set, but it would make it better, but it would make it feel more like a high-class set. You get that special art rare in every box, and then you have that higher chase that would be maybe, you know, 1 in every 2, 3, 4 boxes or something like that. That's what I expected when I saw the leaks, what I thought it would be like, and it would change the opening experience completely. It would change it from this feeling more or less like a regular set if you know, ignore the irregular EXs, which most people do. You know, there's some good ones, like I love pulling the Mewtwo EX, but once you pull one, you know, you've seen it. It would make this just a whole lot more fun. that's my opinion. How do you feel about this? Again, I don't think this is like a big deal. This is not going to change how people like this set. It's not going to change the fact that people want to open this set, want to collect the cards, because they are amazing, they're beautiful, and they're great. And some people might even prefer it this way, because this means the SARs are a bigger chase. They are hard to pull, technically speaking. They're harder to pull. They're not in every box. And so, although if you do the math, if you look at V-Star Universe and Terrestrial Festival, there's one per box, but there's also a lot more in the set. So, you know, I think they are still easier to pull than the SARs in this box, but not by that much. But still, there's definitely people out there who want these SARs to be as expensive as possible, because that's what makes a set good, is have expensive chase cards. Whereas I'm like, yeah, high class set, it's okay to have chase, right? But the opening experience has to be something drastically different from the regular sets. I didn't get it with this one. Let me know if you've opened a box, if you felt the same way, or if you think I'm completely crazy, I've lost it. I don't know. Yeah. Fun set. I definitely want to put some stuff in the binder. Love the cards I pulled, and you know, it's just something I noticed. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Shorter one today, but yeah, more impromptu video. But let me know in the comments how you feel, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.